What I want to discuss today is just as you can see on the screen, what it says here. The gaming industry is depressing right now. It is really depressing right now, I must admit. A lot of things are happening in the industry that, for a lover of gaming, for someone who grew up gaming, for someone who playing since the day of the NES, right? The NES, then you go to the Super Nintendo, you go to PS1, Xbox, you go to 64, all those. Someone who been in this thing for a very long time. This is the first time this generation has been one of the first generations where the hobby seems very like the future doesn't seem too bright for this beloved hobby of ours. And I must say, I managed to, in my opinion, highlight just a few reasons why I'm thinking that the industries are depressing right now. The first and foremost, let's look at what's happening here. On the screen right here we have Mario Kart World, just released this month, and the price $79.80 games. That is one of the most depressing things about gaming right now. The fact that games are $80 and they want to make it a thing, because I saw that Microsoft had their showcase and Outer Worlds 2 supposed to drop, and they are saying that the price of Outer Worlds 2 is $80. Like, where to get the temerity, the balls, the gall, the gumption to decide to charge $80 for a game? Now, which game out there? I know value can be very subjective, but on a real though, what game out there value $80? Mario World came out, it was released, and a lot of persons love the game for what it is, but they are saying that this is not an $80 game. Some reviews are saying it might not be an $80 game because the world is not anything. The game is not anything revolutionary. Right? It's not something that is genre defining. It's just another Mario Kart World, but yet they decide to charge 80 for what? For what reason? And then Microsoft Outer Worlds. I mean, Mario Kart, I think this is about the 9th mainline entry, because, you know, the 8 was there forever. And so this might be the 9th one, but Outer Worlds, they're up to 2. 2. And Obsidian, good track record, Fallout Vegas, whatever. But 2. And are you telling me that part 1 was so beloved and it grabbed everybody's attention? It was generally finding that, of course, 2 gonna up the NT a bit, and so therefore 2 should be $80 now? In what world? So I understand the more cynical approach where people might be saying that, okay, Microsoft might be charging 80 to get you into Game Pass. You spend your $20 for the month and you can play these games and, you know, beat them, then move on. So there's that perspective. But imagine that right now, if you're marketing a game, when you mention the price point, that's a big marketing, a selling point, the price point. So when you remember back in the day when microtransaction, those things were being very negatively viewed by the industry. And so when somebody drop in a game, they'll say, guess what? No microtransaction. And the crowd goes wild. No microtransaction, because all of a sudden, not having it is a big thing. Same way now. When Mind's Eye, yes, it didn't review as well, but when they were promoting it, big announcement, the price point, it is not $80. You look at Clear Obscure, Expedition 33, very good game, possibly top shortlist for Game of the Year for 2025. Price point was announced and people were like, okay, phew, sigh of relief, because I realized that this generation prices went up already from $60 to $70. So we're seeing a next price leap in the generation. And I don't care what nobody say, I am not buying a game for $80. Like, you got more important things to do, right? It's a hobby. So they're gonna study it and price themselves out of the market. So even that aspect is very depressing, because I realize that even if you want to wait for a sale, when you have a sale, and let's say 50% off, initially it was 80, so 50% off is down to 40. Right? So imagine you wait, and I mean, I'm being generous because 50% off is a big thing. You might not even sit at 50, you might sit at 25%, 20%. But then that pulls you back down to what it might have cost you to buy a new game when it was at $70 price point, right? So even to wait for a sale is depressing because you know, man, even if it drop, it's still, I don't know if the value is still there. Cause a lot of these games, yeah, they might have a whole open world, they might have hours, but a lot of fluff, a lot of busy work to try to pad out, right? So the whole $80 game thing, very, very depressing. And next thing that is very depressing right now in the industry is overpriced hardware. I mean, we are saying that PS5 Pro is a thing, mid-gen refresh. And so that seems like it's going to be a norm, at least for Sony. And the PS5 Pro isn't worth $700. The technology is old, is marginally improving from what we had before in the base PS5. And so to charge $700 for a game system that is that the technology is so old is ridiculous. And that again is very depressing. I mean, look at this here. I have this. This right here. My OG X-Bone. Right? I decided not to take part in any mid-gen refresh. I'm not gonna do it. And so I never even bought the Xbox X, the Xbox One X. Because I don't believe in the mid-gen thing. I rocked this OG until I purchased my Series X. Right? I bought the Series S before, but I bought the Series X eventually. I'm not into the mid-gen refresh story. So you see, I mean, those are some very, very depressing things right now. This mid-gen thing, and you know, some people actually were waiting for the PS5 Pro before they buy any PlayStation 5, waiting for the PS5 Pro to come, and then it came and it's like, oh boy, what did I wait for? Because I mean, if it's a Pro system, at least, man, try in a disk drive, right? But no, they want to nickel and dime you, so you have to pay an extra to get the disk drive. So again, very depressing, because when the PS4 Pro came out, there was a disk drive in it, right? It was a real Pro system. And then added to this, right? Not back in the day, some people were waiting until the price dropped for these systems to jump into the generation. But guess what? This generation has been special. No price drops, really and truly. In fact, prices went up for all the systems. These are all technology, but the price keep going up. Microsoft did balls to increase the price of their Series S, X, everything, right, this year. Increase the hardware price. They were not selling, and they still chose to increase the hardware price. So gone are the days where you wait until a slim version comes out, cheaper price, older model, drop in price, and then they jump into the market. Those days are gone. And I hope they come back, because this is very depressing. This is not the industry that we all grew up loving, right? And I'm going to get to one of the biggest issues I have with the industry right now, but that's going to be the last one. So we have now game prices gone up, hardware gone up, overpriced. And then, of course, we have the whole rift between physical versus digital, right? This is the extent of my physical collection, right? For my PS5. That's it, just two. Because what you have to understand is that places outside of America, to import a physical game is going to cost an arm and a leg. And so now we are forced to stick to digital. And then with digital, they're telling you now, you own nothing. You own nothing. So game preservation, an issue. Actually owning a game is an issue. Gone are the days when you buy the disc and you get it all. You buy the disc and you get it all. Those days are gone. Gone. So you could very well buy the disc, but the disc simply acts as, like with the Doom Dark Ages example. The disc is basically a key. So you put it in the system and like, okay, yeah, you bought it? Okay, download now. So you still resort to downloading. Big patch, big files, still resort to downloading. God forbid a server goes down or something, or Microsoft or Sony say, okay, you know what, let's take back this game. As they have done. They have delisted games. And so the movement towards so much digital is very frightening, very depressing. Now, had it been a case where if we are moving towards digital, then the price dropped for the game in general. Because why are we charging $80 for a physical, a digital game? Remember, you would have cut out a chunk of the cost associated with printing the disc, getting it on the shelves, the packaging. I mean, they don't even have any real paperwork anymore, no manuals anymore. So all those those expenses are gone when you go digital. But yet, the price is still up there. So it is not even you saying, okay, let's sacrifice the physical copy, the owning it, to, let's say, reduce the price. Give me that choice. So we are saying, no, okay, digital cost 50, hard copy physical cost 80. Okay, maybe there's a room for negotiations there. But you're telling me that right now, digital and physical cost the same? When to get them in the hands of the customers is different. One is easier than the other. One is more cost effective than the other, but yet they cost the same. That's not right. That's very depressing right there. Right? So that's three things right now that got the industry really, got me really depressed about the industry. Another thing is the advent of, what do you call them? The black hole games. Right? The rise of gas games. Games as services. Whatever you want to call them. Now, let's just be straightforward. Gen Z hardly buying any of those single player games, to complete and move on to the next one. Gen Z ain't into that. Gen Z ain't even, they're basically console agnostic because they don't care what they're playing on. But look at this here. Top PlayStation games and Xbox games ranked by total weekly active users ending May 31st, 2025, so last month. Look at what's ruling. Of course, Warzone with COD, Warzone, Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto 5, I guess more likely is the online aspect of it killing it right now. Roblox, Marvel Rivals, Minecraft, Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Helldivers. Yes, you can pay for Helldivers, but games with service still. You look over on Microsoft side of things. Division 2, Rainbow Six Siege, Marvel Rivals, Star Wars Battlefront 2 making a resurgence for some reason. Not too sure why. Minecraft, Roblox, Fortnite. Like, the industry is really sad right now. Because you know that these kids, they don't care about the real single player games. And games like NBA 2K25, these guys don't care because some of these guys is the only game they buy for the year, and they kill it with the microtransaction. Kill it. Madden, they kill the microtransactions. And so those of us who will want to see the end of microtransactions, will want to see the end of all of these loot and that kind of stuff, paying for these things, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's gone. Because the kind of money you make from Fortnite, the kind of money you make from Roblox, the kind of money you make on skins and operators from COD and all these things, that's it. It's very depressing, but that's the sad reality we're living in. That these gas games, these black hole games, they have taken over. That is why Sony is trying so hard to get one off the ground. Failing miserably at it, but they're still trying. Concord failed miserably, but they're still trying. Right? Because they had the whole game, the J. Raymond game, right? And they're trying, but nothing is there. So again, with all of this, very depressing. I love my single player games. I really love single player games. That is why I have my PS5, right? I have my PS5, so I could enjoy those, as they call them, sad dad game, whatever you want to call them, single player games. I'm a fan of those, right? And so sometimes, can you blame these youngins, these Gen Zers, to go on these black hole games when it's taking certain studios years upon years to drop a game? Years. Very depressing. Taking some of them generations to complete one game. Right? So those are just some of the things. So yeah, I alluded to that, but the fact that these games are taking so long to come out is a problem. Back in the day, you could have dropped 3-4 games per generation. Look at the PS2 generation. You had GTA 3, you had San Andreas, and you also had what do you want to call it? So you had 3, San Andreas, and Vice City. Then of course the spin-offs, right? In the PS3 era, We had Baladagatoni and those things. In the GTA 4, Baladagatoni, the DLC, nice. But today, when last GTA dropped, right? None dropped since years ago. So generations on, no GTA, but... And then you wonder, well, how is it that some studios can do this? I saw that Plague Tale Requiem, Plague Tale, I forget the title, Renaissance, whatever the name. That's the third game in that series that you had Plague Tale Innocence, Plague Tale Requiem, and now we have a next one, 3 games. 3 games in a series, in a short span of time. So what happened to these other studios? Capcom dropping games left, right, and center. FromSoft, almost every 2-3 years, like with a nice cadence. Games, different games. And so you wonder, well, a lot of these Western studios are doing a lot of nonsense with these games. So, again, very depressing. Some of you Naughty Dogs, you while want, give you a good game, but they're out there releasing Last of Us 5, 6, 7 a million times, right? Alright, so those are just some of the things that are very depressing in the industry right now. But one of the biggest ones now, because none of this would have been, some of these would not have been an issue if it wasn't for things like this, where you see a lot of content creators, they are part of the problem. I have my gaming media has diminished so much in the last couple of months because I realize that a lot of these content creators, they're not principled. They are not principled. They are part of the problem. I've seen content creators spoken ill about the PS5 Pro. Oh, it's a marginal increase. It's not necessary to buy. I don't want one. Next thing you look, I used to watch Unlocked so much. Ryan McCaffrey, IGN. They're talking about the PS5 Pro in a kind of way. IGN in general. Next thing you look, Ryan McCaffrey said he trading this, trading that just to buy a PS5 Pro. Because he wanted to get the best GTA 6 experience. Like what? A lot of them talking about buying for the job. Where's the principle? Right? Yeah, the whole thing with Mother right there. Very prominent YouTuber out there. Talking about why he's not going to buy any Nintendo Switch 2. Guess what? Day one, launch day, midnight even, dude gone out, grab himself a Switch and everything. And you see time and time again, you cannot boycott anything in gaming because these people, they are not principled. But games like Veil Guard, dead on arrival because what? Same content creators just hate farming. And so they would kill a game before it even drop. Kill it before it even drop. Not because of gameplay, not because of anything, because they don't have it in their hand yet. But because of some weird culture war nonsense. So these content creators, they have Dreamcast guy and those and Reforge and all those kind of gamers just sticking to this console war nonsense and they could bury a game. Right? I used to watch this one Iron Lords podcast. Started watching them and I'm like, okay, these dudes are the regular kind of dudes. I could relate to this. We are in the same age group. I could relate to back in the day now. Ah, my goodness. I saw this one cog talk about how we had to trade in this and that to buy a PS5 Pro. All these fellas talking about how the PS5 Pro is not really worth it. Soon as I get a chance. Trading. Remember when Randy Pitchford had his infamous saying about if you're a true fan, you'll find a way to buy Borderlands. They rake the man over the coals. These content creators in the man's skin, cussing out Randy Pitchford. But guess what? Apparently he was right. Because here it is that some of these content creators are out there trading in this, trading in that just to get the PS5 Pro. So the man was right. They'll do what they need to do to get their systems. I saw the same one, Iron Lord. This one name, I think is Addict. The name is so appropriate because dude say he'll pay $80. He ain't agree with $80 games, but he gonna buy them still. I don't agree, but I'll buy it still. What kind of logic is that? Dude say he'll buy, even if it's $100, he'll buy certain games still. There's no so these content creators are a problem. They are some who stand on business. Right? You have the Fatangas and the it's Alex's out there. Even Stephanie Sterling, to a certain degree, stand on business. She don't like Ubisoft, I ain't buying the game. I don't like Microsoft or Activision, I ain't buying the game. I'm not even reviewing their games. But then there are the other ones talking about for the job, tax write-off, whatnot. So all in all, the point here of this rant is just to simply say, the gaming industry right now, very depressing. Very depressing. And don't even not on console gaming alone, because even PC gaming. Because if you look at some of the GPUs that were dropped recently, you look at the RTX 5060, 8 gigs. 8 gigs in this modern time? 8 gigs really? NVIDIA 8 gigs? And the pricing of these things is ridiculous. Even AMD, 8 gigs. So you know that even PC gaming is becoming too expensive. They're pricing out regular folks. So where's the escape here? Console gamers in the toilet, PC gamers in the toilet. The industry might just need to crash and reset, and we try again, right? We need to crash, reset, and try again, because things ain't going well. Things are not going well for the gaming industry. Alright, so that's just my little 2 cents on this whole thing, and my little rant, if you want to call it. So like, subscribe to the channel. So I mean, the only reason I'm starting to make these videos because just can't really take on what's going on, and I think persons with voices can talk to try to say how they feel about the overall industry. So I encourage anyone to speak up so that we can see that we're not just a vocal minority, but there are a lot of people out there feeling the same way. The numbers might not show it because, as I say, sales, because the microtransaction games are selling. Everybody buying the Switch 2s, everybody buying Mario Kart still, everybody still buying the PS5 Pro. So it's just like a little bit of us out here just holding on for dear life, like, come on. This ain't the industry that we love. This ain't the industry we grew up with. It's morphing and it's being twisted into a thing that we cannot really recognize. Right? We are customers. We have a say. Let's act. Let's do what we need to do. Vote with our wallets. That's all I could say, man. That's all I could say. But yeah, let's get the industry back to where it needs to be. Right? So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.